Welcome to Staying Relevant, the podcast with Sam Thompson and his best ever pal, aka Besties, Mr. Peter James Wicks.
Sorry, you're done.
Yep, done.
Okay, that was exuberant. I will not be drinking, as I'm still not sort of drinking, but occasionally I do have a drink, but not today. However, I am swearing, and if you don't like that, go f***.
Now, remember, as well as listening, you can watch us now too. The full video is released on YouTube every Friday after the audio is out every Monday. And before we get started, make sure to hit follow wherever you're listening. That will mean you'll be the first to know of each episode.
Subscribe, like, review, all of that shit.
Yeah.
Do it. Make Sam happy.
And vote for us on the Listener's Choice Awards.
Oh, we're not doing it
No,
again.
we are. We've been getting so many DMs. Genuinely, I reckon, had like 300 people. We need 200,000, but we've had like 300 people so far who have voted for us. And we love
Sorry,
you.
you're happy with the 300, yet we need 200,000.
We're climbing.
That's a piss in the ocean, mate.
We're climbing.
We're not climbing, are we? We're still lower than a worm's tit.
Worms don't have tits.
But if they did, they'd be dragging along the floor at the bottom, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but Rome wasn't built in a day.
We only have until September.
Is that it? Is that it? Oh, we need to crack on.
That's what I mean.
Oh, fuck me.
This
Right,
isn't-
guys.
We'll get 200,000 in about 20 years at this going rate.
We really need you to pull your finger out now. Do you know what I mean? Fucking vote. See you later, Rob and Ramesh. That's not even.
They
their
don't
pod-
even have a podcast.
No. See you later, Peter Crouch. Now, Pete, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? I have a tooth.
Pete's got a tooth, everybody. He's been
Yeah.
filled in.
Yeah, I filled in the tooth from the constant abuse that I got from you. I feel like a new man. It enables me to smile. I still won't, but it does enable me to smile now. So I'm still not really drinking.
I love that. We've now gone to really drinking. Before, last week, is I'm not drinking. Now it's I'm not really drinking. I'm just having like a couple of beers.
Listen, no, I had a couple of beers, which I hadn't drank for quite a while. I had a couple of beers, thought, oh, these are really nice, but went home.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay.
So I was home on a Saturday night by like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Then I went out for dinner and had a couple of glasses of wine. And again, I was home by like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
I've done very well. I'm not drinking alone anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably I think that's probably the biggest benefit, is that I'm not drinking alone. And I've been for a run a couple of times this week.
Really?
Yeah, I've been doing 7K.
7K.
Done 3 lots of 7K this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's more than me. Oh my God, Pete's now fitter than I am.
Yeah, but weirdly enough, I've always actually been fitter than you.
Oh my God.
Which is probably the weirdest thing, considering now I'm effectively a fucking machine.
Are you? Do you feel fitter?
I feel really miserable.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy not drinking. What I've worked out as well, being out and not drinking when other people are, everyone's a fucking twat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And they come up to you and they slobber on you, and you're like, what are you doing?
Oh, it's just disgusting how awful people are when they have a drink.
Now you know how you've been for 10 years.
Well, no, because I am the opposite. I'm like the antithesis of that, because I'm actually a nicer person when I drink.
True.
Sober, I've also realised that I am a complete...
I love the way he's got his tooth filled in. He's going for runs. He's not drinking. And he's even more angry.
And I'm a worse person than I've ever
worst
been.
person for it.
Most people, you've got to work out, stop drinking. It makes you a better person. No, it makes me a fucking disgusting, horrible, vicious...
Awful bloke.
Vicious human being. So we'll keep it going for a little while and then I'll go back to drinking.
On that note, I had a couple of drinks myself recently. I did the Love Island final.
Yeah, this is... I want to hear about this, actually, because you sent me a couple of messages whilst you were there.
It was... Zara came out, though, which was jokes.
I did see that. Bring your girlfriend to work day.
So she...
By the way, Zara looks stunning.
She did look stunning, actually.
Why in the fuck was she there?
Basically... Zara was brought out because they were bringing out me and India's other half because they had both been in the villa as well. So I think it was quite like apt that you bring out like both sets of sort of boyfriends and girlfriends. And so they come and sit down. I know you didn't watch it. Oh, you might have watched it because someone knows you didn't watch it. He's shaking his head. Lovely friend you are. Very nervous I was to get on there. And Zara and Dami, they sit down. Zara's a little bit nervous, bless her, even though she like hosts loads of things. She was really nervous to sort of do it. And it goes to Dammy first. Maya goes to both of them. Goes, so how does it feel to be
Dammy
here?
is
Dammy's
India's
fella. It goes to Dammy and Maya's like, how do you both feel like being here with your boyfriends and girlfriends respectively? And Dammy turns around and goes, do you know what? I feel amazing at being at the place where I fell in love with my beautiful girlfriend, and I just love her so much. And Zara goes, yeah. So I was here with Adam Collard, and she was like, just to bring up. She like went into like presenter mode and was like, just to bring up. What you guys were talking about before. I don't think it's necessarily the right decision to move in with at no point have I been mentioned at this point. And she's like, I just don't think it's the right thing to move in with your other half instantly, because I did that obviously with Adam when we came out, and it was really nice at the start. And I was like, say something nice about me. And she literally just skimmed over it. I literally looked at her and I can't believe it.
How did you feel about bringing your girlfriend on and then just sitting there like the pillow that you are on a sofa and listening to her talk about her previous relationship with the incredibly good-looking, ripped-up Adam Collard?
8-pack pecs of steel, and I was just stood there in the drapes in the grandparents' drapes green shirt, sweating with the flu, going, say something about me, please.
At that point, did the twitches start?
The thing is, this isn't Zara. I know why Zara did it, because she came off. She went, I just spoke about my ex the whole time, didn't I? And I was like, you may have. And she literally went, I panicked, because bless her, she was like, because of what I did earlier, and we spoke about on this podcast, the You Can thing. She was like, the last thing I wanted to do was give any advice about people, because she was like, I know I was going to get hammered. So she was like, I just thought I'd just talk about my experience on the show. I didn't want to turn around and be like, oh my God, like we're in the best relationship possible, because I knew that everyone was going to tweet being like, well, didn't you do this? And I was like, that's kind of a fair point. But so she was kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. And she came off and was like, what have I done?
What happened?
Oh, sorry, really quickly. This is what I was going to say. They kept on, I looked on Twitter, and every time she mentioned Adam, they'd flick to me. The director knew what he was doing. He literally went, she'd go, so my old relationship, right, cut to Sam.
All right, let's just do this now. So I'm going to pretend I'm Zara, and then you're going to do the face every time I say Adam Collard. Okay, right. Here we go. So, I had a great time when I was on Love Island. Obviously, I was with the beautiful Adam Collard. And Adam's such a nice guy. He's absolutely hung like a donkey. He gave me the best sex of my life. I really enjoyed my time with Adam. It's such a shame that it ended. I've ended up with that. But Adam is a great guy. I really love Adam.
Do you know what
Adam's such a... What?
I was going like this.
Were you doing that face?
I was just smiling, looking, when you have to look really professional, I was going... Just nodding, and smiling.
Yeah, still talking about your ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I do get it, because I know that she's so, bless her, she's so scared of sitting there being like, this is the secret to like a good relationship, and I love like da-da-da, because she's just like, I know I'm going to get hammered.
And it's nice sometimes when you get to talk about highs in your life before you have to go on to the lows and what you've ended up with. How unfortunate.
It was honestly, I was looking at Twitter being like, the look on Sam's, he hasn't moved his face in about 15 minutes.
Did you have Botox as well?
No,
I was.
But I was sweating out, to be fair.
Anything else happen at the final?
Do you know what? I am going to say something. This isn't the final.
That's a good start for a podcast.
I'm going to say something. I was on the flight home, and no one knows this. Even the podcast producer doesn't know this. I basically sent a few text messages to family members and friends saying there's a fire in the engine. We're going down. If I don't survive, I love you.
You're one of the most dramatic people I've ever met.
Mate, I thought...
On another note, just while we're saying that, I didn't get a message.
No, Pete didn't get a message. The only 3 people got a message. My agent.
Showmans. That's what me and Sam are, a showman.
My agent.
When he was dying, I didn't get a fucking message. But when he can't sleep, I get a fucking message.
Agents, Zara, Louise. I don't know why my agents, but I literally, mate, I genuinely thought, and I've been so embarrassed until this moment.
Have you got a copy of the message that you sent?
I've got one to my sister.
Okay, excellent.
Gonna be honest, on a flight home in the air, and there's a fire in the engine. Very sketchy. I might go down.
I just want to point out you were in Mallorca. Is that what they
Mallorca,
do
yeah.
it? They don't have Wi-Fi in them flights.
No, so we were coming into land. So we were coming over London.
I was going to say, because they wouldn't have got that until you were dead.
Yeah, I know.
Because that wouldn't have even sent. So then when you landed and then the messages all went through, did you then think, oh,
No,
I feel
this is
a
the
bit
thing. I
shit?
panicked. So I'll tell you what happened. So I'm on the right-hand side of the plane, on the right-hand row. And now on the left, right, I at the corner of my eye, I see like flashing orange, but in the cabin. I'm next to the wing on the right, in the middle, right? So on the left, the whole sort of like cabin is like flickering orange. I was like, that's kind of weird. And then I see people looking, like everybody is like looking out of the window. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, why is everyone, what? And there's like genuine flickering orange, like in the cabin from outside. And I'm like, oh, this is a bit sketchy. And I hear someone go, oh God, I think there's a fire in the engine. I literally, and then you hear whisperings going, oh, there's fire in the fucking engine. And it's like flickering and stuff. I sit there, I start doing my belt up. I'm like pulling my, go, I'm like thinking of what I'm going to do if we start going down.
Fast
So I was
forward
like,
30 seconds, Sam's got the gas mask, he's got
Yeah,
everything.
mate.
He's just sat there, the life jacket's pulled.
I am so panicked at this point. Heart palpitations going through the roof, right? People are taking photos. There's an old guy videoing outside the window. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then there's turbulence starts hitting in. And I'm like, oh my God, the plane, we're fucking going down. We're going down. I'm going to die. And so I'm sending these text messages. And as we're going down, I'm like, why are people like, they are freaking out, but like not in like a, oh my God, like I am. It turns out that it was a busted light. And the light was just shining inside the cabin. And I just sent all of these text messages. My agents have replied being like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, how are you doing? I went, it was...
Yeah, someone changed the bulb.
Mate.
The fuck?
Mate, so they were taking a video outside of a busted light. That's why they were so intrigued but not scared. And someone had obviously said, oh, I think there's a fire as a joke.
That's one of the worst things you can say on a flight.
Mate, do you want to... So at this point, right, I went, there's a fire in the engine on the plane to the agents, right? And at this point, between the reply, I had then found out that there was just a busted orange light that was flying and thing. Agent, STFU, shut the fuck up. What happened? Did you emergency land? It'd gone on so long at this point that I went, we managed to land. And then she went, then Seb, my other agent, went, no way. I went, yeah. He then went, was there a fire? And you landed? I went, yep, half an hour before we landed, carried on with the lie. They went, did they announce it on the plane? I went, no, but we saw it. And they were like, everyone calm down. Because the lady did say, calm down, everyone, like it's just a light. I just took away the light and the fire. And I went, no, they were just like, everyone calm down. My other agent, Johnny, then went, bloody hell, mate. And I went, to be fair, everyone was pretty calm. Feel like some people didn't know, to be fair, but I knew. They went, that's mad.
You're
fucking hell. Then they went, one for staying relevant. In my head, I'm like, yep, but not in the way you think. And then I went, you could see it flickering orange.
Oh, you're such a fucking knob.
She went, was everyone screaming? I went, yeah.
By everyone screaming, that was just you in your seat screaming.
And then I went, there's no way I'm going to be making radio tonight.
Oh, there we go. That's what he was after.
There's no way I'm making radio tonight. I can tell you that now.
So that was your staying relevant of the week. You love Ireland final?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, staying relevant. Good moments.
What have you been up? What has Peter James Wicks, who's been off the sauce, been up to?
I took one for the team.
Fucking was that even me?
I went to KISSTORY.
Can you explain to me what KISSTORY? I actually work for Bauer.
I was just about to say, you should know that. So KISSTORY is a big festival that they do.
That Kiss does?
Yeah, and it was supposed to be you and I, but you were otherwise engaged being a pillow on Love Island. So I had to go alone. I didn't realise that until the morning.
I bet you were so angry as well. What the fuck am I doing there?
However, I had a new partner.
Who?
Tatum.
Oh my God, I love Tatum.
And I'd never worked with Tatum before, and I'd never met before.
How lovely is she?
Fucking love her.
She's the nicest girl.
She is great. She's also tiny.
Yeah.
So I looked like a fucking unit But aside from that, which was great, and Tatum's amazing, she's so good, and I feel like Tatum is the missing link to my life.
She's flipping awesome.
She's really, really good, and also she's such a good partner, so much better than you.
Don't be like that. Because she is really sweet. I can see you getting along with it really well.
So I'd really like it if we could work together more, me and Tatum. So when you are off or ever away, I would like her to come and do this podcast. Anyway, the bigger part of it was kind of my demographic at KISSTORY. A lot of women who were very excitable.
Was it, oh my God, it's sex on fucking legs?
There was an awful lot of groping. Not by me.
Yeah.
A lot of inappropriate comments, and it was a lot. At one point, I'm going to tell you one example.
Someone grabbed your cock?
I did have that a couple of times. I actually had a lady who I would say is about 50, with a couple of her friends run up to me, screaming. She then proceeded. We were watching Harriet Rose, and I was with Sean Owen. You know Sean.
Yeah.
And Bradley Skeet. So the three of us were. This was after we finished work. We went to see Harriet DJ, and this woman ran up. She then proceeded to bend over, touch her toes, and twerk on me.
No, 50 years old.
And I was just stood there like this, thinking, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Her friends then started videoing it. I thought, this is someone's mother. I don't know what I'm doing. This is just so weird. I don't know what's going. She was going, you're loving it. Whilst I just thought, God, this is so weird. I then had a lady come up to me who, she was really, really sweet. She went, excuse me. I said, all right, darling. She went, do you mind if we get a picture? I said, yeah, of course we can. She went, also, I've got one other little thing, and I know it might be a bit weird, but could you bless my unborn child?
Shut up. Shut up.
And I went, what? And she went, I'm pregnant. Could you? And I went, I'm not a priest. And she was like, I know, but could you just like say a few words and say hello?
Was she saying this in a serious manner?
Deadly serious.
Oh my God.
So I went, yeah. I went, bless you. I wish you all the best. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And she went, oh my God, that means so much to me. And then gave me a kiss on the cheek and walked off. And I went, what the fuck's happening? I don't know what the fuck's happening. I don't know what was going on.
Just while the other one was twerking on you, you're blessing someone's child over there whilst getting run down.
But, and all of this genuinely sounds like I'm making this up. But Charlotte, our fabulous producer, actually came along. She came along because it was part for the podcast and for all that sort of stuff. And I think Charlotte was partly disgusted and partly bewildered by what was happening on this whole day, because these are just two minor things and a range of fucking wild shit that happened, to the point where I did have a drink. I had 4 beers that day, which was a lot for me at the time. And Charlotte, unfortunately, had to hold my drink because I kept having to do pictures and all that. So Charlotte, basically our producer, who basically runs this show, became my table for the day.
Oh, God.
But she spent the whole time just writing like this, and I thought, what the fuck is she doing? She just wrote down loads of moments for Staying Relevant, some of which I'm forgetting, but I think she may have sent them to you.
She has. Do you know what, Pete? Just before I get onto the text that she sent me, because I haven't actually read any of them because I didn't want to, you are a fucking icon. Like, you are a sex icon for a certain age demographic. That's the beauty of it. Like, you're finally starting to realise Pete Wicks is the kind of guy that, like, the broken soul that 30-plus-year-old woman is just like, oh, I'll have a bit of him. Like, I want to eat him alive. Like, you know when they want their last dance and Pete's their last dance? You are that guy. And it's so brilliant that you're finally understanding it.
I'm not understanding it. I think it's wild. I mean, one woman came up to me and said, I just want you to sit on my face.
Oh, God.
I literally was like,
With your beard.
great. Like, what? I don't know what to say.
What like, how did they touch you? I know it sounds really weird. How did they like touch you when they were like asking photos? Were they...
Stand up. I'm going to show you. So this is what people do. All right, you just stand there. So they come up and they're like, oh my God, and blah, 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 blah. They have a picture, and I always get a bit weird about it. Then we do the picture, and then they do the crafty grab. All right?
God, what's the crafty grab?
So if we're having
Yeah.
if someone's taking a picture from this way, this is what they do. Right? So we stand there, and I'm like this, and then they go.
No, they don't.
Literally, but they really go in. So they
Make
literally
it
go
easy.
straight down.
What do you do?
Or they do this one. Do it the other way. So if the picture's coming from this way, this is what they do. They go.
No, they don't touch your cock.
And graze.
No, they don't.
I promise you now.
Pete,
And listen.
that's amazing.
Listen, if it was the other way round, this is all I
be
ever
going to
say, you'd be going to jail. If you did that with Taylor Swift, for example,
Yeah.
like you'd get fucked.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it seems to be okay to just fucking touch me up. I can't remember so much stuff that happened. Like it was one of them just wild, weird days that, like, it was just it was from literally the moment I got there. It felt like I was in some sort of. I thought people were playing tricks on me. I haven't been. I don't go to festivals and big things like that.
Can I explain to you what our producer, bless her, who's actually not here at the moment, she's written this in story form, which is I fucking love. I haven't read this before. The first thing I've seen, right? When the festival attendees saw Pete, it was pandemonium. Lots of photos, women screaming. It was exactly Pete's demographic. Couldn't get filming done because Pete kept on getting stopped. Producer Charlotte came to help out, but was demoted to being Pete's drink holder for the day and taking pictures of him for the fans. Charlotte realised, she's talking about herself in third person, Charlotte realised a queue of fans had formed behind her. Someone had asked if she was queuing for... Oh, no way. Sorry. Producer Charlotte realised a queue of fans had formed behind her. Someone had asked her if she was queuing for a picture. She said yes. Sorry, did someone come up to Charlotte, our producer, and go, sorry, are you in line for the picture with Pete?
Yeah.
It's so
At one point, because obviously we were doing this filming, and at one point, because obviously you had like a camera there and the microphone, me and Tatum, so people always look when that's happening and you're in the middle of a festival. Then suddenly, as you're trying to do this film with Tatum, you just hear people going, Pete, can I have a picture? Like midway through, whilst we're doing the filming, people would just walk into shot and go, can we have a picture? And then when Charlotte and people were asking them to just step back a bit, they genuinely formed a queue.
Sorry.
So at one point there was a queue. It was like the Pied Piper, and people had started following us around in the queue. So in between each bit of filming, I had to stop, clear the queue, and then we'd go and do another bit of filming, and then another queue would start. People were going, is this the queue? Like, set up as a fucking... And I was thinking, this is so embarrassing. I kept apologising to Tatum and the producer of the thing we were doing, going, I'm so sorry. And she was just like... I just didn't realise it was going to be like this. And I was like, I didn't fucking realise it was going to be like this.
Do you know what? I did. I've been saying this for fucking years. Pete is iconic. Pete, by the way, listeners, if you ever see Pete out, just run him down. Run him down. Like, Pete, honestly, when we go out together, no one gives a fuck about me. Everyone just goes, oh, it's this annoying guy, Pete! And they run at him. And the funny thing is, Pete always makes a joke. He's always like, oh, look at you, you're becoming more relevant, you're doing the radio, you're doing Love Island. The actual people don't give a shit. I've seen them run at him, stilettos on. Like he's Bieber. Like he's an older... do you know who it is? It's Michael Bublé. It's the kind of demographic... It's the kind of demographic...
I couldn't be further from Mickey Bubbles.
But it's the kind of demographic that go for Michael Bublé, and it warms my heart. It warms my heart. I love it. So if you see Pete out, fucking run him down, because he's also so lovely. But this is it as well. Someone said that... So these are in note form. Someone said they had Pete's calendar.
Yeah.
Someone said they couldn't believe Sam hadn't heard a Casualty. Come on, they're listening to the fucking pod. Yes.
I was going to get onto this. What I did get a lot of was, where's Sam? We love you. We love the podcast.
Yes!
To the point where people were coming up, showing me they'd voted for us.
Oh my
people
God.
were also coming up, showing me that they subscribed. People were also showing me that they'd listened to all the things. Can you see it's all green? Because I've listened to them all. I'm up to date. You need to do more episodes. People were shouting to the point we were walking through, and people were just going, hey, where's Sam? Where's Sam?
I
We
wanna
love
cry."
you. We love you. And like, I'm not even joking. Charlotte was like, Charlotte, our producer, was like, I didn't realise it was that good.
Mate, we've gone fucking global. We've gone global, baby!
But a lot of people missed you, and a lot of people were very kind about you and said that they absolutely love you. And I also had quite a few people saying that they no, this was it. This was one guy, it was a guy actually. He came up and went, all right, mate, see you doing pictures. Do you mind if I get one? I said, yeah, of course you will. And went, I always used to think you were a dick. not as much of a dick as that Sam.
I'll take
But
it. I'll
he
take
said,
it.
but I've been forced to listen to the podcast, and I fucking love you both.
Oh,
And he went, you really changed my opinion.
I feel like I'm going to cry, Matt.
So yeah, there was a lot of love for the podcast, and there was a lot of love for you.
There's one more thing that I wanted to quickly say. Someone started a chant. We love Pete Wicks.
Oh yeah, there was quite a few.
We love Pete Wicks.
Yeah, this is while we were trying to film. People started shouting that, and then we did have one other group of about 10 women.
Sorry, there's one more. Pete was the only one in the VIP area. Picture attached. Pete brought Charlotte into the VIP area by telling the bouncer, she's with me. You fucking bellend. She's with me. You absolute knobhead. That is so good. Oh, God. Lots of questions to where Sam was. Yes, Pete seemed to have an amazing day. At one point, it was two-stepping and stayed after to enjoy the music. Pete blessed someone's unborn child. Honestly, that story, there's a few things. We've got to wrap this up, but a few things I just want to take away from that. Number one is you're a fucking icon and you're starting to see it. Number two, and I love the way the listeners actually letting you fucking not letting you get away. Number three is that this podcast, we're going global. We started from the bottom and now we're here. Drake said that.
Slightly above bottom.
Drake said that.
But yeah, it was a wild day, and I missed you. People listening to this won't give a fuck, but people watching this will notice that I now have a bob, look slightly dishevelled, and have changed my outfit. Sam also looks fucked. It's because we ran out of time last week, so we are finishing this week. That explains that. Over and out.
So basically, we are here to finish off this episode. We just fresh off the back of KISSTORY. Pete he lasted about 2 weeks. He's back on the booze. He's hungover to fuck.
No, I'm actually not that hungover.
Hangover or hungover?
Either of them. I'm fucking tired, and I'm not back on the booze because I'm not drinking on my own. So I've now decided it's okay to drink with friends.
It is social. He's a social drinker.
I'm a social drinker now. But yeah, I did have a really fucking random night last night. Wow. Obviously, I had money to. Should we talk about that?
Yeah, go on. Fuck
yeah,
it,
might as well. I suppose it's sort of it's staying relevant, really, isn't it? I had some curtains cut, and my hairdresser. I was at Sam's yesterday. My hairdresser's in Balham, so I went to hers. Then I went for a drink with her after. Then I met the exec producer who actually put me and Sam together on Celebs Go Dating. We went for a little drink and ran into
Lily Fortescue, Rosie Fortescue's sister, lovely lady. I wasn't there at this point, but
who was on Chelsea. But the reason we started speaking is because Michael and Hilary Whitehall, Jack Whitehall's mum and dad's how do I explain that? Yeah. Sister came up and said that their parents loved the podcast.
Yeah.
And that Michael thinks I'm a lovely man and charming.
I love that he always head-butted into the charming. He put his head, and charming, he called me.
Charming.
Sidebar of shame.
It's the sidebar of shame.
Yeehaw.
There's quite a few.
There's
so many to pick from. We can actually just run through just a few of them without making a big deal, and then pick the one you want to make a big deal out of.
Okay, cool.
So we can go with Arabella Chi. Do you know who that is?
I do know who that is. She was at my gym.
She was on Love Island.
She was on Love Island a few seasons ago.
She's now on a boat in the Mediterranean with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire. That is staying relevant at its fucking finest. Well fucking played.
Do you know what I want to know? Right, and this isn't just for lovely Arabella, and who seems lovely, by the way. She's
actually really nice.
This is for all people who take selfies of themselves in a private jet as if they've bought it themselves. Right? Who's paying? Who's paying? Because let's be honest, you haven't bought it. You haven't bought. Love Island might do well, right? But you are not making the coin to get on a private jet. And I'm not saying she did this, but just all people, male and female, right, who go and take a selfie on a PJ and then on a yacht. Who's paying?
I just want to point out a couple of things. Firstly, that's not actually a dig at Arabella because we know Leonardo DiCaprio's paying for that. But I completely agree with that. I've never been on a private jet.
Neither have I.
Actually,
Other than Dad's.
That's a that's a lie. I got interviewed on one.
Was it docked though on tarmac?
It didn't have any wings, mate. It was literally just the middle part of it, and I'd sit and be interviewed fucking years ago for I don't know what magazine was called, fucking like Big Time Charlie or something. But either
What's
way,
the name to pull out of nowhere? Big Time Charlie.
I don't know what the fuck it was called, but I was sat on a private jet getting interviewed by someone, just sitting there talking about all this stuff, and I was thinking, I've never done any of this. Like, and it was. Do you know where it was as well?
Where?
North Weald Airport.
Where's that?
It's about 20 minutes from my house in Arlo. But yeah, I completely agree with that. It is a bit.
It's funny, isn't it, when people take the little photos themselves on the thing. It's like, look, or they have their laptop up, just doing a bit of work, and it's like just on the PJ that you've clearly bought yourself.
My
right?
favourite one is when it's obviously like a brand trip or an influencer trip, and they paid for it. So all of the influencers queue up to have a picture in the same seat that makes it look like they're on their own.
Yeah.
So they're all is it me now? Yeah, all right, great. Can you get the angles? And
Yeah.
Go on, next one. And they all must fucking just sit there and do it in the same fucking seat.
Oh, it's so funny. And then when they get onto the yachts, but to be fair, you're right. Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, definitely. And I suppose,
Go on.
would you? Here's a question: would you be cool with being flown out by Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire to a yacht?
I actually didn't read the full thing, but I think she's dating one of his friends.
Oh, she's dating one of his
But
mates.
it's just, yeah, I didn't read.
Oh, that's banging. Imagine. That's even better. What you want to do is you don't want to date the superstar because you know you're going to get chucked within seconds. What you want to do is you want to date one of the mates who is hard up with women, but is like good, like really good mates.
Well,
with
I think the mate that she's dating, I mean, we were just going to breeze past this one, but it's really opened up a lot of doors. His nickname is the King of Clubs. I think he owns an awful lot of clubs and stuff over them places.
Mediterranean sort of.
No, like America way.
Oh, no, wow. That's
Yeah,
big.
like the King of Clubs.
I love the
I can't
way-
imagine there's anyone in the Mediterranean that's called the King
Oh,
of
the
Clubs.
King of Clubs in the cars.
As in the King of nightclubs, he owns nightclubs.
But
the King of Clubs.
Yeah, the cards. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's cool. Do you know what I love as well? Is that me and you are quite similar to Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio. We are. We don't know. No, we are.
Sorry.
Let me explain to you as to why.
Sam, that is the worst.
Why?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
And so, well, firstly,
You could be Leo because of your hair.
well, okay, couple of problems with this. Those two been friends for an awful long time since they were kids, I think.
Yeah.
Those two talented.
Yeah.
Us two not. Those two lot older.
You.
You not.
But no, we are. We're like those sort of guys who are just sort of, climbing the ladder, but doing it together. Then when we finally make it to A-list status, we're going to be on super yachts. Not with girls because I've got a girlfriend, but like Pete will probably have a couple of girls.
Yeah, I mean, we're not on any ladders. And I imagine if we did get on a ladder, we'd fall straight off.
We are. We're climbing the ladder now. You just don't know it.
So I was flicking through the Daily Mail, and then I noticed this topless man, the very fair, very blonde Jamie Lang in a sort of a Vogue-esque type shoot. And I thought, fuck me, he's really gone up. He's doing GQ. It's not. It's for Arcadia magazine, whatever the fuck that is. Do you want to explain that? Why he's doing that?
I don't actually
the
know.
headline,
Yeah.
because I thought maybe because he's shaving his head, maybe he's doing it for charity, or maybe it's like a big thing. And then I felt bad because I've cut some of my curtains off and not giving it away. But it's just the headline is I feel more confident now I'm married,
So I'm going to shave my head.
so I'm going to shave my fucking head. And I imagine he regretted it because the picture after isn't great.
Do you know what? I'm actually quite glad he's done it, you see. Because when we win the Listener's Choice Podcast Awards...
Oh, God, we can't go back on this. I thought we were going to get through an episode that we haven't spoken about it.
I'm going to shave my head if we win it. And so it's given me a good showing that, you can shave your head.
I'm going to be really honest here. I think you're going to look a fucking idiot.
Why?
What, with a shaved head?
Yeah, you said we saw each other yesterday and you went, you could look quite good, actually.
Yeah, I lied.
Oh, all right.
I lied. But also, Sam is not going to shave his head if we win the Listener's Choice Award. Sam's going to shave his head, pretend it's for the Listener's Choice Award. But actually, the real reason is because he's preparing for his hair transplant. So don't be fooled into thinking that he's doing some big thing because he's doing it anyway. All right? You fucking look at you trying to get away with that one.
Pete tried to make me wait for a year. Pete was like, if you wait a year, I'll do it
You
next
said you were
year
going to
with you."
wait.
No, I can't do it. Because by the time that you need it, I will literally be Friar Tuck.
So this is about as staying relevant as it gets. We sat there yesterday. I was at Sam's yesterday doing some work. We had some fucking bits and bobs to do, and we sat there over lunch next to each other, eating a pasta. What's it called? Evangelist. Whilst looking through different hair transplant results on my phone, and I was going to him, "Oh God, you see that? He's done the bit that you need." And he was like, "Yeah." And look at the front line of his now. We literally sat there for 20 minutes whilst eating pasta next to each other, going through hairline fucking hair transplant results. It's getting to the point where it's really bad. And then do you know what's worse than that?
It's now on your feed now, isn't it?
It's now on my fucking feed. It's all I see.
Yeah.
And I forget that you have all these algorithm things, so I just think it's a sign telling me that I should do it. And then worse than that is Ellen, my manager, calls this morning and she went, "You need to stop talking about hair transplants." And I said, "Why?" She went, "Because we're getting inundated with emails from people who want to give you a free hair
So
transplant."
have I. I've had loads as well.
So, yeah.
Do you know what's funny?
We need to pick the right one, though.
You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this, Pete. This is staying relevant. I've been approached, right? But I'll tell you what I've done. But I've been approached by 2 production companies to do a documentary about a hair transplant. And I went back to them and went, "Not unless Pete's doing it."
I'll be honest with you. My forte into documentary making, I didn't want it to be a personal thing that's going to make me feel like shit. However, I'm quite happy to watch you doing that one. I actually think that'd be more interesting than your first documentary.
No, I said Pete's got to be involved. I went, it has to be me and Pete, and they were like, they're really up for it.
No, but you know what it'll be, and this is what's even worse about this whole fucking stand room. It'll be you hosting a documentary, presenting a documentary about, and I'll be one of the patients you talk to after I've had it done. That's what it'll be.
So how do you feel?
Yeah, no, just really good. I just hope it grows back really quickly. You know? Right, go on, tell everyone to fuck off. We'll get on the next step.
Right, guys, that's enough. Pete's had enough. What a lovely episode this has been. It's been one of my favourites. Please do keep leaving reviews. We actually love to read them, good or bad, preferably good. And if they're bad, they're normally about me being bad. But do leave reviews. We love
always
them.
about you being bad.
They do. They are very singular. They really single me out for the non-praise. But keep leaving reviews, and you can catch us every Monday wherever you get your podcasts, and you can catch us every Friday on YouTube if you want to visualize this podcast. And all you have to do is type in @Staying Relevant Podcast on YouTube, and on socials @Staying Relevant Podcast as well, on Instagram and TikTok for our little clips and best bits.
That was very well done, actually.
Feeling
that
quite
was
good,
very
yeah.
that was good.
Yeah, I feel
that was impressive.
Great.
All right, off you fuck. Ta-da.
Yeah, have a lovely, lovely
All right,
day.
you're done now. Let's get on to the next one.
Sorry. Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Pizza.